online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey, girl.
Ooh.
It's okay.
We started with this. Oh my gosh. How did that make you feel, ladies? You're like, oh, look, Trene.
Feels like I'm back in the 90s, all right, with the Backstreet Boys.
What's going on, y'all? Thank you for tuning in to the Crazy Ex-Girlfriend After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. It's your boy Nino. You can find me at Nino Llanera on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. We have a special show today, guys. We have somebody from the cast on the panel today. But before I introduce him, let me introduce my awesome co-host. We have right next to me Miss Relationship Advice, Trene, Todd.
Hey, I got your advice at the end. But yeah, you can reach me on Twitter and Instagram at your girl Trene.
Yeah.
And
Relationship advice. Now I'm
right
going to be
here.
taking some advice from you. I
Yes,
didn't
yes,
know
yes.
that. Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Kanika Lol. Follow me on Twitter at Kanika Lol, Instagram at You Can Have It Lol.
There you go. And you guys all the way from West Covina, but not really. That killer smile that gets Rebecca on her knees. Oh, did I say that? I did say that.
Yeah.
It's Mr. Josh Chan, a.k.a. No, Mr. Vince Rodriguez III.
Hey guys, Vincent Rodriguez III at, I don't know, V Rodriguez III
right,
on
yeah.
Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. That's the first time I've ever said that.
Had to say that.
You guys are really good at it. I was like, oh, I gotta get ready now.
I really meant to say weaken her knees, but the knees came up, and
It's okay.
let's just move on.
You're just,
Oh, what you
at some
said.
point,
Right.
you know.
At some point, maybe.
Yeah.
At some
Speak.
point. It's the word crazy is in
Right.
the title. And it's there for a reason.
Yeah, right?
We love this show. You don't even understand.
Aw,
so thank you
thanks,
for coming
man.
on. We appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
We're going to get into
We're
all the
already-
All of
juicy
it.
details.
Trene always has the best relationship advice for Rebecca. So let's see how it goes today.
Okay.
We all have our little individual things we
I-
like about the show.
Let's
Yeah.
hear
But
it.
let's get into it because who wants to waste a rotisserie chicken? I'm a little mad at that.
I
A
don't.
whole chicken.
I mean, think about it. I waste a rotisserie chicken. The man of my dreams shows up to my door to fix it.
Yeah.
Right. But you get white Josh instead, who you're not attracted to, who's pretty ripped,
She didn't know.
I
but
know.
she does not care.
No, she don't care. I was first. I'm the Josh. So
You're
when
the
we
Josh.
met this other Josh, then he became white Josh because I'm still Josh.
I love it.
We must differentiate the Joshes.
I love it. I love it. What do you guys
Guys
think
are
about this
such
episode?
bros.
Super bros.
I can't even get over it.
Super
How do
bros.
you live with that? I mean,
I don't-
being a bro on the
It's
show.
pretty fun, actually.
Isn't it?
Yeah, David Hull and I have a great time as these characters. We had a scene today in episode 10. What are we doing? 108. I'm losing track now, or was it 109? I don't even remember. But it's so much fun, especially when all of us are in the same episode.
Right.
Particularly the dudes, like Greg, White Josh, Hector, and me. We get into some trouble. It's
You guys
pretty fun. on
always
set.
seem like you guys get into trouble. I would love to see a backstory between you guys from high
I
school.
know.
I'm waiting for it too. It's coming. It's
Oh,
coming.
we can't
It's
wait.
coming. Oh my
coming.
god. So what did you guys think about this so far as the episode rolled through?
I actually was like, she did great by having the chicken down the garbage disposal. Have him come. Way to do it. And she did it on Weekend Tuesday, which I wish every
Tuesday?
job
What?
had.
Yeah. What?
What
Weekend
is
Tuesday.
that? Yeah. What is that? Like, oh my gosh.
I think Josh thought the same exact thing, which is why when she explained it, he went, well, I don't get that. She was like, yeah, I don't blame you.
It's like another version of what Tipsy Tuesday. You know how like you go out on Tuesday nights back
but they're
in the
like
day.
at work. And
But
like,
it's at work,
Yeah.
so
Or
it's like
lazy
so
Sunday.
or
Lazy,
lazy.
yeah.
Or lazy Sunday. Yeah.
But it's
a weird-
festive, and I
Yes.
like that.
It's quite festive.
Yeah, I
we should
know.
have a day like that here, like Crazy Ex-Girlfriend Days. I don't know if we want that though.
Oh, that would be pretty cool.
Every day is Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
Oh,
Every
there we go.
day. And then we find out Josh's pet name for Rebecca, which is Bex.
Bex.
I know,
So
that's actually kind of
she's
cute.
got
Yeah.
a pet name now, so I feel like
started-
she's she's winning.
Right, I started
now.
writing that in my notes. I was like, stop writing Rebecca, and I started putting Bex as the episode went along.
Absolutely.
But in the episode, we see that Rebecca is going to throw a party because Paula puts this great idea into her head about, we just got to get you out there. We're going to get Josh in there, has a little plan, and they deviate a plan. But Rebecca has a backstory to why she doesn't like parties, y'all.
Yeah.
So sad.
That
very
just got
sad.
so much deeper into her past. Like, I love how we see Paula's past and Rebecca's past in this show. And Rebecca's past, like, obviously it makes sense why she's the way she is. One of the reasons it's because of her parents.
Yeah.
You know, and that was just so devastating.
It was super
Crazy.
sad, right?
Yeah.
So embarrassing.
Probably the most serious scene, I would say, in the whole show, when she like had that moment between her and her father, right?
Right.
It was intense. When I was
Yeah.
on set that day, and they walked in, I was just like, oh,
Oh
damn.
my god.
Right, because you were in that scene later on.
Yeah.
But you had to play-
Surprise, surprise.
How was that having to switch? How did they do that?
You know what? What's interesting is that scene was the only thing I did that day when I went in for the dad. So I literally got to set. I met the dad, and I watched him come out of the room storming out, and she's like, "Don't you dare! Don't you dare!" He went up to young Rebecca, said, "I got to get out of here." Did that scene, slammed the door, and they said, "Great, Vincent, come back." and then the guy playing the dad took his jacket off. I put it on, and I did exactly what he did. And we did that like 3 or 4 times, and I was done, just to get it so it
Yeah.
looked exactly
Right.
the same. But it was a pretty heartbreaking moment. I mean.
Right. But I love how you guys get into that. You dive into something super heartbreaking, and then something just funny comes up, you know, to kind of like give that comedic relief. Because I was in my feelings. I was like, oh my God, here we go. Like, oh, that's so sad that she kind of like lost her dad like that. And, you
Yeah.
know.
At a party.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the most genius things you guys do is contrast light and dark in this whole series.
It's a dark musical comedy.
Yeah.
Rachel always talks about how there's a lot of there is a dark past to her.
yeah.
But I mean, I think all of us do.
Yeah.
But I think Rachel does a great job of kind of owning it and then
Right.
taking it and putting it in the show and kind of showing it to everyone else. And I think it gives people like a little bit of a relief. Like, you know, whatever dark stuff you had in your past or whatever, you know, embarrassing moment you had, like, it's all good. Other people have had it too, and
Right.
then she writes it in a way so that you can like laugh at it and feel better about it.
Yeah,
Right.
totally.
And Paula has still to this day, a pretty not so nice life
Yeah.
at home.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Which is why I think she's all up in our girl Rebecca's business, because she wants to kind of escape from that.
To break away.
And they have each other to help too.
Right,
You know, which is a
exactly.
good thing.
I think Paula always wanted a daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
She got
kinda
two
has one
crazy
now.
With her
sons.
two crazy sons, I know. Oh my gosh.
Which we get
Really?
to find out.
I mean, one's like sharpening a knife at the kitchen
Right, she
table.
was like,
while
what I
the
tell you about the
other's
katana
like-
not on the table? And I was like,
Yeah.
why does he even have that?
I didn't think it was going to be that big of a katana.
That was
I was like,
huge.
why is that like really what?
Crazy.
That was
Right.
shank someone with that one.
But through it all, she's a positive Polly because we see that
love
she
that.
gets into her fairy godmother role.
Oh my god, that
And
song.
She breaks into her Face the
Face Your
Fears
Fears.
song.
I love
Face your fears.
her voice is amazing,
Belt your
Yeah.
face off.
and she I was like,
Drop out of
going
school.
in.
Get your
Stare at the sun.
Stare at the sun.
Swim. Don't. What was it? Don't wait 30 minutes after you swim. Like
Right.
all these like little.
Don't wait 30 minutes.
I was like, great advice.
Reach for the stars.
Wait, run with scissors.
Run
Literally
with
touch
and then
the
the
stars.
fire comes out.
Stars
the
aren't that hot.
scissors.
I love it. And
That was
don't
funny.
forget, guys, you can get these songs on
On
iTunes.
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 That's so exciting.
Your iTunes debut happened. And we're
It
gonna talk about
did.
that.
It happened, and I freaked out.
Right?
Oh my
I won
God.
too.
It was like, what? That's my name. Why is my name there? I'm buying it. Thumbprint and password and shit.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so the choir happened. The party is on. We talk about Weekend Tuesday's real thing. Housewarming flyer, y'all.
It's on fire.
It's on fire.
I think she drew it too. I
She
thought that was
Yeah.
a pretty good
and she
job.
probably went to the copier down at CVS to copy it and give
Oh,
it out to
yeah.
everybody. Like in real life, I'm like, wow, would somebody really do this in real life? Just come to my housewarming. I
know,
just need
right?
people that impress somebody.
I mean, you know, bake sales. Like it's very bake sale, church bake sale ish. Like, write a
And
flyer.
I'm surprised they didn't use social media though, because like earlier in the episodes they would use social media as part of like, you know, texting and emoticons.
Right.
But this time they use like an old-fashioned way of advertising, which is interesting.
Well, I mean, but I think it's
maybe
the idea.
to show because she actually doesn't have any friends, or.
Well, but that's the thing though, isn't it interesting how she freaks out and she hasn't thrown a party since she was a kid. So I think in her head she goes back to
That's how you did it back then.
That's how you did it back then.
It's parallel.
But I think there's a lot of moments in the show where you go, "Why are you doing that, Rebecca?" And it's really she just goes back to the past.
I do that all the time. Like, why, Rebecca? Why?
I know.
Did you really have to do that? Right.
What are you doing?
But those awkward moments are the greatest. So we think we talked about it here in AfterBuzz with some of the people not on the panel, and they're like, "There's awkward moments, but I could still watch it because I just want to know what's going to happen." Because there's sometimes just awkward TV where you just have to turn the channel and come back like a minute later because you don't want to see what happens. Like here, it's right to the point, but I still want to find out what happens.
Yeah, it's like, oh, good thing there's a commercial break.
And you get to breathe a little bit.
Yeah.
But that brings it to the second song.
I have friends.
I love that.
I love it.
I have friends. I definitely have friends.
Right. What about what's going on with a clerk with a half of the eyelid?
God, I know.
Grocery clerk
Yes.
with half an eyelid. When we did that, the table read, I think we all pretty much died because all the writers were singing along, and it was.
Oh my God! Can you imagine?
We're like, I can feel it. Where's the cheer? Where are the cheerleaders?
I'm sure those table reads are a party. They
You
are
guys-
probably
Right.
already are, but with a musical element to it.
Seriously, the table reads at Crazy Ex-Girlfriend get loud. Like if you were
I can
outside the
imagine.
room, it's just
Right.
we just.
I know.
I'm crying. Donna Lynn Champlin singing "Face Your Fears," and I'm just like. Just getting into it, and then like of course Rachel Bloom, who writes all the songs,
Amazing.
she's getting into it, and you're just dumbfounded. You're like, wait, you wrote that, and then now you're gonna do it in the show, and like it's crazy. Wow. It's amazing.
When she first wrote the song for you and you read it, what were your thoughts?
I remember getting the demo and went, what? I get to sing that song? It was a lot of things because I was a huge NSYNC fan when I was growing up, and then when I was in acting conservatory, there was no hip hop class, and I knew I wanted to learn how to do that, and so the closest thing I had was NSYNC concerts, like Amazon or whatever, wherever you buy your media then, and like just watch like the Pop Odyssey tour, the No Strings Attached tour, and I basically know the choreography to like 3 or 4 NSYNC songs.
And Michael Jackson too.
And
when
Michael
you were
Jackson in the
younger.
Yeah.
Some Smooth Criminal, a little bit in there.
This must be like a dream come true for you to do this like scene, because I read that obviously you love Justin Timberlake kind of like growing up,
well,
and the
was
fact
great.
that you could play 4 different characters
That
in the
was
boy
nuts.
band scene.
That was fun. Well, when we were choreographing it, Catherine Burns is our choreographer. She choreographs for like Key and Peele, and she choreographed for the Wet Hot American Summer and Netflix.
I watched
she
that
did.
actually. Yeah.
So good. I binge watched that, and as soon as I found that out about her, I totally geeked out. But she choreographed that number, and then we like tweaked it a little bit because I wanted. I don't know. She was like, it has to be comfortable for you, and I was trying to get in the pocket, really make it feel like that time period in that era. And then once we did it, we were working with 4 other dancers, so they learned the same choreography too. But they were assigned each of the characters. So I was regular Josh, and then someone was assigned B-boy, like sensitive Josh, and then bad boy Josh, and then there's like we called him B-boy Josh, but he was really like goofball Josh.
Yeah.
And then as they would learn the choreography, they would take on the characteristics, and then I would learn them. So by the time we got to filming it, it was literally like, okay, Vince, you're regular Josh, and then I had 3 other Joshes around me. We did it, and they said we did 3 times with each Josh, and then before I did the next Josh, I would do like a little rehearsal and stand behind them and copy all of their isms for each of the characters. So we did 3 or 4 different takes with each Josh, and then 6 hours later we were done. And it was basically like, oh, I'm back doing musical theater, and I understand 6 people, and I have to know everything they sing and dance and stand. And so it was definitely a throwback to my theater days.
I love it. I love it. That video was great. That whole part was great. But back to the party invites when Miss Rebecca comes in with a boob check
And the
to
kid
try to go,
yeah.
to try to invite
checks out a
Greg.
rack.
And that little kid's just like, well, I don't know what's going on. I'm just looking.
I know,
I'm just
seriously.
looking.
Right by the gumball machine, I think he found something better.
He found something way better. Bigger gumballs. But yeah, and then Greg says no. He's like, nah, I don't want to go to the party. I think I'm over you now. Kind of, right? And I was like, you're not over her. You are not done with
Totally
it.
not.
Then she does what we all do when we want people to come to our parties. We call them one of our best friends in the whole world because we
Just
all
guilty.
know we've done it.
Guilt
We
trip
really
it.
want people to come to a party. We're like, you should totally come. You know, we need to hang out.
We need to catch up.
We need
It's
to
been so
catch
long.
up. And we need to face those fears.
Right.
Because we've all thrown parties.
Oh, yeah.
I remember in my college days, we used to throw parties. And
I remember inviting people I hardly knew, but I wanted
Right,
people at the
right.
party.
Right.
I'm not
Because
afraid
you
of
wanted it
admitting
to
that.
be cool.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? You don't want a 12-year-old Rebecca party.
but
Yes.
I've never...
Party of 3.
Yeah, seriously.
Man.
But I've never had to like go through Rebecca is going through and invite your crush.
Yes.
So
And she did go
Yeah.
to you. She was like, you know what? I got this. I'm going to do this.
Yeah, she
Let's
was
go.
confident. I
And she
liked
went,
it.
She went for you. And you said yes. And
Yeah.
you made her happy.
Yeah, I think that was the operativeness of it, but it was like also like, hey, bring your friends, and like they're out of town. It's like, ooh,
They're in my head. I'm from the South Bay, Redondo Beach. So
Oh, what?
I was like, oh, surf competition.
Do
Like,
they have surf competitions out there?
oh, yeah.
Oh, okay,
It's
sweet.
Redondo Beach, Manhattan Beach, Hermosa Beach is a big beach area.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not Huntington Beach, but it's still beautiful. And then, Paula, they're going to get ready for the party. Paula brings all these things to set up for the party, random decorations here and there.
Yeah. What was
Like hearts and Halloween stuff. She was just
Baby.
excited.
Yeah,
baby?
she
She
was going all out.
she keeps all those in her attic, and she was like, I'm gonna whip all these out.
Yeah,
Right.
why not?
But she had to bail really quick because her
Yeah.
ADHD son, who
man.
has all these
Yeah.
the behavioral diseases you could think about, he got caught up in school. What
stealing
happened?
the teacher's copy of the test. Something
Why did
we've
you do
all
that?
wanted to do in our
Right.
lifetime.
You told me
Right.
to face my fear.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
I did it.
He was listening to his mama.
Yeah, come on.
Right.
Can't blame the son.
Have you guys done
Like a
anything
good boy.
crazy like that where your mom or mom or dad had to come to your school and you had to be like, I'm so sorry? Like,
I mean, if I did, I blacked it out because I was
I know, seriously.
terrified.
I had a time when my mom came to my school, but it was to help defend me.
Oh,
Okay.
We were
snap.
going out on vacation. I'm going to say this because I totally remember this teacher. We were going out on vacation, and what's it called? My mom was asking everyone if I can get some homework in advance. All teachers said yes, blah, blah, blah. He's a good student. Go ahead. This one teacher said no. My mom called, and the teacher hung up on her. And then the teacher kind of just yelled at me in class in front of everybody. And I remember, like, texting back then, which was like 10 cents still because they didn't have unlimited texting. And then my mom was like, I'm coming up there. I'm like, oh, my God, what did I do? Yeah, embarrassing. I had that embarrassing mom moment.
Wow.
But she did it for me. So I love you, Mom.
Mom, shout out.
Yeah.
I know
you
you're
too,
watching
Mom.
right now. Yeah. But Rebecca pulls it together. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? She pulls it together.
She invites her
It looked
neighbor.
good. Yeah. Oh my God.
Wow,
her
Who wants
neighbor.
to observe her?
introduction.
Yes.
Which I was wondering who she was because I saw her in the intro cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she finally shows
She's
up.
the neighbor.
Yeah.
Yeah, Heather.
Yeah, she's
played
a
by
little-
Vella Lavelle.
I'm a little nervous and scared from her. I don't know about y'all, but
So there's going to be a storyline about her that's going to be expanding throughout.
Oh yeah.
Oh, really?
I
I
think
actually
so.
liked her. I thought she was
Yeah, she was
interesting.
cool.
Yeah, Heather, the neighbor who's also like the coolest person.
the
Rebecca's
coolest
ever
person.
met.
Yeah.
I mean, she's taking a psych class. So
At
it's
the
kind of,
at the JC.
yeah,
taking-
so it'd be interesting. Maybe she's going to like explore Rebecca's
Right.
mind and the way she
Abnormal
works.
psych class, and you saw the picture she was taking of the fail party.
Yeah, that too.
Is this for your research or is this just for
It's just
pure
for-
enjoyment?
yeah.
Embarrassing.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure with the photo she was taking, she caught Rebecca in the party failing, and then she caught the party being awesome, and then caught her with the keg?
She
Yeah.
did
Yeah,
a
keg stand. That was
Thanks
that was
to you.
That was fun.
What
I
about
was like,
Daryl
I was like,
taking...
engage your core.
Oh my God.
And I think there was a scene where because it's loud at the party, but I'll say it. I'll share it right now since it's aired. But there's a moment where we cut back to her and she's like about to throw up, and then
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know what to do. And this was completely improvised. We got out of the keg stand, and then Rebecca started to like, and I was like, oh, can you get the. Get some, and I'm sending a girl, like, you know, who was our stunt coordinator actually. Go get something, and she's like, I swallowed it! And then all of us are going, what? It was great.
That whole thing was improvised.
That section, I believe it was. I don't remember it being
Interesting.
Wow.
scripted.
That's cool.
I think about 40% of what we improvise on the show
Gets put on her.
gets put on.
That's awesome.
Well, that's awesome.
It's funny.
Yeah.
It's crazy because now it's like, oh gosh, what can I come up with?
I know, right? There's more pressure now, but at least the
pressure.
writers and the producers are allowing that,
Right.
to happen. It's not like just sticking with the script.
Well, it's really helpful because Rachel is head writer and executive producer, so she's on set with us, like keeping it fresh.
Yeah.
And then we have an amazing team, like watching from the video village and seeing the energy of the scenes and where it could go and giving us options.
Right.
And it's basically a playground.
I love it. And we saw, so before we get into the awesome part of the party, we saw it was a bust. Even Mr. Natus couldn't make it because she was doing parkour.
Like you do.
Like exactly like you do on a whatever Friday night that was.
night.
Yeah, go ahead.
The pizza guy stayed.
The pizza guy did stay, and Mr. Whitefeather, as the party went rolling and everything was good, I heard you say he went. What did he do?
Oh, he tried some meth.
He did on accident, right?
On accident.
A menthol cigarette,
A
which he didn't
menthol
know
cigarette.
had
You guys
other
really
things.
put that in there. I was dying.
I know, seriously.
They went there.
I think what did he do? He dug a hole in the backyard.
Kept digging
Yeah,
something,
I've been
right?
digging for 30 minutes.
But the party took way off when you did the selfies.
Yeah.
She wanted a party, and I was like, anyone can do that. Is that really, like, I think, because Josh has thrown a bunch of parties.
Right.
He's done
Yeah.
parties forever. He did it in probably high school. He did it throughout, what college he went to. And, it's like, but he doesn't know that Rebecca didn't go through that. They've been separated, they haven't been in touch for so long.
Right.
So it's just like, is this what you want? Bam, easy. And
We do this.
Like we do, but really it was like, a combination of like the tweet and
Paula.
the night. How many?
The random gamblers.
Party's a gambler on the
Yeah,
street.
Paula was like, "Hey, are you guys gamblers? Do you like alcohol? Let's
Perfect.
go." Paula's so clutch. She comes to the rescue all the time.
In her sheep jacket,
In her
just like
sheep jacket, exactly.
little Miss Little
I
Bo
thought that
Peep.
was so cute. Yeah, little Bo Peep.
What's she wearing?
Your guys' prediction, predictions of West Covina fashion is just
Well,
it's a little on point. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know too many paralegals who are sporting the sheep coat, but Paula's definitely she reads like all the magazines and tries to stay current,
Just like her hat in the other episode.
just like which is like a tattoo,
right, but on your
head.
Crazy, I loved it. But you guys got the party going, and it was bumping, it was cool, and Greg shows up.
Because
Yeah,
nobody was
after
at the
being
bar.
a loner at the bar, he does definitely show
Because
up.
you guys just took away all his customers.
Hashtag
That's
sorry,
true.
not sorry.
Were you guys surprised when Greg showed up, or you were waiting for that to happen?
I actually didn't think he would show up. I thought he was
Really?
just gonna
I
like.
didn't think so.
Yeah.
I was like, he's gonna show up. There's no
I'm
way
happy
he's
he
not gonna
showed
show
up.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not.
No offense,
You're
but
not.
I'm totally.
He's annoying.
You're
Really,
not.
I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for
I was
him.
happy to see Josh and Rebecca finally getting some alone time.
So
and,
she is Team Josh.
You're just
know.
saying because he's
Yeah.
no.
and he
not
complimented
here.
her a lot. He said she was fearless.
Yeah,
and
but
then,
he's with Valencia.
but
Don't
he's
forget
not going to
that.
be with her for long. So.
Yeah, that was
Ooh,
really good.
predictions.
Save for prediction.
Yes,
Predictions.
because you know what you did at the party?
Yeah.
You ignored her text, bro.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We saw some
You were
really
like,
good soft
no.
sides to your personality in this episode. Like we got to really you opened up and you
Yeah.
showed more like you weren't whipped.
because I'm super
Pretty
confused.
much.
I don't know if Josh likes Rebecca, if Josh is
Yeah.
annoyed by Rebecca, or he still cares because you come in and out like with your feelings with her, and I'm just like, I'm confused. I don't know.
I think you just spoke as Josh. I think so. I think he is too.
I am.
I mean, it's been a long
Josh.
time. Think about that. Like, it's been
Yeah.
a long time since he's seen
Yeah.
Rebecca, and he's been. And we talk about this a lot. The backstory. I'll try to talk about it without giving too much away. But I think Josh has only been with Valencia.
It looks like that.
Aside from
minus that 2-month break.
that 2-month break.
Yeah.
So we're gonna explore. You'll see. I think you'll like what?
Interesting.
Why?
No
What?
one else has this but us guys. It's good to have a star on the panel. Yes. But yeah, you stood up for yourself. I like that, and that gave Rebecca a little warm in her heart.
I also liked it. I also liked it when you were like, "Listen, Rebecca, you just got here. You shouldn't expect to have
Yeah.
so."
Yeah.
That was a nice moment, Like you gave her encouragement. Like you're so fearless. Like I could imagine myself if I had a crush and I was so embarrassed in front of him.
right.
I would want to hear that from him.
But that's the
Like
thing-
that spoke to me.
Absolutely. Well, that's the thing. That Josh is a nice guy.
Yeah.
I don't think he's. I mean, he's a bro and he's a dude and he has a really hot girlfriend. But I think he genuinely likes Rebecca and is genuinely happy that she's
here.
in West Covina.
She's a- yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where Josh grew up. That's why he went back home to be with his friends and his family and you'll see more of his friends and more of his family.
interesting.
as they come.
that would be
I can't
So
wait
to see
for
Bex
that
is
part.
like pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Right. At first, I really didn't care for Josh, and this episode made me look at him differently.
Totally.
And because I was like, he's kind of playing Rebecca,
Yeah.
but then in this episode, we see that he cheers her up, and
Right.
he shows her that this can be a party of a lifetime, and it definitely was.
You're fitting in way more now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think even Greg says that.
Greg does
Yeah.
say that at the
Fit
end,
in more.
which was I wanted to go to after Paula gets an Uber ride called by her kid.
Right.
So shout out for being safe and not driving drunk and plugging in that Uber right there. But yeah, Greg's on the staircase. Last guy there.
Last guy there
Yeah.
with what?
With
a
whiskey.
bottle of whiskey.
And I was like, where is this going? Wait a minute.
Right. I thought they were going to go up the stairs.
I
Because she was just like, well, you know what you do, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, what are they going to do? And she was like, you could take it home. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, bye-bye, Greg.
But that was a great moment too on the stairs. I was there right before that because I had to leave, so I would just like kind of watch on the monitor, and it's just it was neat to see Greg acknowledge Rebecca's feelings towards Josh,
Right.
and not make fun of it,
Right, exactly.
because he like realizes for the first time, I finally get it,
Yeah.
like what your deal is. And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
And she still
He's
doesn't
like, yeah, I'm
get
sure you don't.
Denial.
You're just friends,
Right.
quote unquote. Yeah.
Whatever, Greg, you drank too much. You don't know what you're talking about.
But Rebecca seems like she's never going to get it because as we see, as episodes go, we think at each end of the episode, she finally gets it. You're a little crazy and you moved out there for Josh. And then when the episode comes back again, it's like back to square one again. Just like in the beginning of the episode of this one where we're like, she still doesn't understand, like, you want to be more than friends with Josh. You really do.
She
Yeah,
snips him
It's tough
when she
to
hugs him.
accept that.
I think so.
Tough to
Absolutely.
accept
Right,
it.
and especially we don't know too much more of her background with anxiety pills and everything that she's been
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah, what
You
are
know,
those
that
pills?
Suicide attempt.
Depression,
Yeah.
suicide attempts.
Yeah, people have
Yeah.
asked about what those pills were she
Yeah.
dumped, and which is interesting because they might resurface. You might find out what they were.
More intel, guys. More
Don't fire me.
intel. Don't fire her, please.
But we love the sneak peeks.
Yes,
Yeah.
next
Thank
episode with Greg.
I know that looks
What about
nice.
that sneak peek?
Which one?
The next episode with Greg and
Like
his
that ballroom dance scene or something?
Yeah, settle for me.
professes his love for
Settle for
Rebecca.
me. Yeah.
And you seemed okay with that. You're like, well,
I mean,
you know.
I think that's the other thing I was going to say is
Uh-huh.
that we're all going through something in the show, and I think that's what's really neat about these characters is you find out what each one is going through. Like you didn't know that's how Josh felt about Rebecca until he was put in a position where he had to help her, which is what's interesting because that's what the beginning of the episode was.
Right.
The garbage disposal.
Right.
And he was there to help, but White Josh kind of helped instead.
Yeah.
So now it's like, oh, wait, you just want to party? Oh, well,
That's the right guy.
it's like, don't worry, you just moved here. What's
Yeah.
the big deal? It's
Yeah.
like, you'll gain more friends. It's all good.
One thing I did like also was the end of the episode, before her talking to her 12-year-old self, but her and Paula.
That was cute.
Her and Paula, and her helping Paula with a hearing for Tommy.
I'm glad she
yeah.
used her
That was
lawyer
so
skills
cute.
for
Yes.
that too.
And she was
Harvard.
like, just here you go, read
cue
this.
cards,
read
yeah,
this.
yeah.
Yep.
And that principal was like, okay, well,
Snap.
You win.
you just,
It's like, and you win.
yeah, exactly. Okay, well, I'll see you on Monday then.
Yeah,
Tommy
right.
here.
Well, it's
back.
tough because there's like those little injustices in life, and it's
Right.
not fair.
Totally.
Right.
And then Rebecca is this. I mean, I think she said it before in episode 2, where she's like, they're in the community to help the community, and her field is in real estate, so she helps Valencia, and she helps Paula. Paula's her friend. Why
Yeah.
wouldn't
Yeah.
she use her smarts and her book smarts for that?
She's too smart for her own good, by the way, because she figures everything out like this.
Totally.
Harvard and Yale.
She figures everything out.
Right. Oh, not every.
Well, not
And not
herself.
everything.
but-
It's like
Not dating.
that section of your brain.
Yeah.
That's like the
Totally.
hardest thing, though, to figure out yourself and to
It
figure
is.
and to take your own advice after you try to give advice to people, right?
But that's something that's hard to believe. You keep saying like at the end of every episode, you think she learned something.
Yeah.
And the next episode starts, you're like, what?
Right.
You don't get it?
I'm like,
Right.
Rebecca, I thought we were just going to move forward from now on.
But she did face her fears. I feel like the theme of this episode was face your fears.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone
Totally.
faced their fears.
Right.
I mean, we got to see Daryl open up more, and I thought it was great. So
I'm feeling relationship advice coming right now.
in the girl world, when a
Yeah.
guy is so nice to you,
hear
just
that?
like
hear
Josh
that?
was nice to Rebecca, that kind of gives us girls some hope. So I think that you know, now she's going to think that she has a better chance with Josh. Because in girl world, when a guy helps you with your party and, you know, he's showing you attention left and right, it's all these things are going off in our head, and we're like, he's the one, we like him.
I
He's
love it.
helping us.
I don't want to run on that parade for not at all, but if I were to also give some advice here, have low expectations at the same time. I think that's just the way to win in life. Like, if you have high expectations on somebody or what something's going to happen and it doesn't, it's more
bums you out.
depressing than if you thought, you know what, don't worry, it's not going to turn into anything. And imagine if it does and you had low. You know what I mean? So
I got you.
I guess
Okay.
in girl world, we tend to really be so hung up on people, on situations. We overthink more
Right.
than guys do. If we just like take a step back from that and like just stop, delving so deep into things.
I think you guys don't know this, but
It's
guys
simple.
delve in deep too.
Do you? Because I don't see that from guys a lot.
Right.
So please enlighten
But
us.
we don't show it, obviously.
Yeah,
Like,
we don't show
on, bro.
it. We deal with it different ways.
I feel like you let go so much more easier though than girls do. That's the difference. Like you can really.
I think it just catches up with us.
Yeah.
Like when Josh got that text, he had to make a choice, and he had to deal with the consequences.
Yeah.
And then for him to stand up for himself, that's a big deal. And the fact that you guys are watching him do it, and he did it in front of Rebecca.
Right, he did.
And I think I would even venture to say it's because of Rebecca.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think Rebecca is kind of like she's like a pebble that you drop in a West Covina pond, and then you see like what the ripples occur. And I think that's what's starting to happen as you see like Josh behave differently, and Greg and Paula and
Can we
Carol.
get an applause for this analogy there?
Pebble in a pond.
We're talking all day.
Yes, I definitely think that was a great analogy.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
about to go down, and it's also my way of saying like these characters aren't done, and it's so cool
Yeah,
to hear you
totally
guys
not.
talk about them because they're really interesting people.
They
Actually,
are. They're very
Yeah.
super complex. but
Complex. Yeah.
super, and guys especially, like what you're saying, like we take a little time
Yeah.
to unwind, and I think it does, like what I was saying before, it catches up to us. I think it definitely catches up to Josh
Right.
and Greg. Jeez Louise.
Greg. I want to know more about Greg.
I know.
Why he
We
is
all
the way he
do.
is.
We
I'm
all
just
do.
curious.
We all do.
But let's get into it then, because we're kind of predicting already. But I want to get
Yeah.
into predictions since you like that when you watch a show.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So I was talking to Vince before the show, and he was like, "I like when you guys predict because I know what already happened." So I'm like, "You're wrong. You're right. You're wrong." So
Oh,
So
gosh.
apparently we get some things right sometimes, guys.
Really?
We do. Who
It's
wants
interesting to
start?
hear.
Why don't you start?
Okay.
I forgot what we said last.
Get it?
So, listen, I honestly think, I said it last time, I think there's going to be a triangle that's going to happen. And it's going to be a choice between for Rebecca to think Josh or Greg. Right now, she has no interest in Greg. But I think as the storyline goes and comes along, she's going to develop something. And then Josh is going to be like, no, I got to fight for this.
Yeah.
And something's going to happen, and then she's going to have to pick between two of them. I don't know how sad or whatnot it's going to be, but I just feel like that's going to happen. Just the way it's been going back and forth with Greg and her. But her heart is still set to you, obviously.
Right.
But I think Greg is slowly infiltrating, kind of, and we kind of see it in the next episode there that something's going to happen.
Totally.
Yeah, he sings a song called "Settle for Me."
Yes.
What?
Right, talk about low self-esteem.
It's like everyone was thinking that, and now you have a song to sing along to.
Right.
In case you ever felt that way.
What about you, Trene?
Well, I think that Josh and Valencia are going to definitely grow apart. They've been together since high school, and they're bound to grow apart. And I feel like Rebecca and Josh are going to mesh a little bit more well. We're going to see Josh doing more for Rebecca. He's going to be going out of his way more for her than she has to. So.
Yeah, honestly, I'm piggybacking off you guys. It always happens, but like I feel like when a boy starts to notice you, when you're trying to been chasing him the whole time, that's when you turn attention away from them. So I feel like that's what's gonna happen with Josh. Like he's gonna really chase after Rebecca. Rebecca's gonna maybe look the other way, either be after Greg, Or in the end, she might be with nobody and just want to be with herself.
I'm totally looking at Vince's face to see if I can get.
I know. Nothing.
But he's like,
you're such an idiot. You have no idea.
You have the best poker face right now. Because you're just like, yeah.
I'm trying so hard right now.
But I'm trying to think of what could be more from Rebecca's past, like her anxiety.
Right. I want to know more about that too.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Well, our show is called Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and Aline, Brosh, McKenna, and Rachel, they're so into the idea of crazy from a female's perspective, and they're feminists, and they are trying to really explore this, because we're poking fun at it, but we're also coming at it from this is what people really deal with. This is real stuff. So what we're depicting isn't like
no. It's what Rachel went through too herself.
Yeah, she's gone through a lot, and we've shared a few stories. Yeah, she has. I've heard some of them. I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah.
And it just brings me back to stupid things I did in the past, or times where I just felt alone or felt like the black sheep. I think we all have those stories.
Right.
Oh, definitely.
For sure.
That's why I think people like this, because it's totally relatable to some people, although they might not want to admit to some of the things that they've done.
Right.
But it's totally relatable, and people like it. There's singing involved. It's just a happy show.
Yeah.
Like you said, the contrast between light and dark is really, really good with this show, and it just makes you want to see more. Basically.
I can't wait.
Yes.
And I also have another prediction about Valencia.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're going to see Valencia ripping up pictures of Josh and her. She's going to start hulking out.
Another music.
Hulking
You
out.
think she's just gonna get all
She's going to throw
buff
some
and, like,
dishes. She's going to throw some dishes. She's going to... I just think that we're going to see Valencia just freak out.
Be careful, Vince.
She's going to freak out.
Seriously.
Be careful. She's coming for you.
That was me as Josh looking at Valencia. Oh God.
You know, I touched upon this when we first started, but I have to touch upon it again. It's the diversity in casting. I just gotta. It's awesome to see. You are Filipino. You know,
yes, in Tagalog.
and so am I. And it's just you don't see anybody in a main character role at all on prime time like this right now.
Yeah.
And with the casting that goes on with Filipinos rule, that's what our engineer said. And with the casting that's going on, and you said this when we were talking earlier, everyone's represented. It's nice to see that.
Yeah. I mean, when I was growing up, I grew up in Daly City, California, which is like, I affectionately call it the West Covina of San Francisco. So, I mean, it wasn't San Francisco, it was just Daly City. That's all I knew. And my high school was dominantly just like ethnic and Asian and Indian and Latino and white was the minority. Like in my clique of friends, there was a white guy. That's weird. Like I didn't tell them that. They just one uno. So it's just kind of interesting, the parallels, because I definitely have parallels to Josh in my personal life, but from like when I was growing up, for sure. But it's really neat to see that, because for me, it just feels like, oh, this is just how I grew up.
Right.
And to anyone who's from West Covina, because we've been getting a lot of tweets and messages from people West Covina saying, hey, it's awesome to see my city represented.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, we're really trying to make it honest. It is honest to that degree. But it's for me really cool to like represent my community and to kind of be this dude, this regular guy who happens to be a love interest of Rebecca Bunch on a show. And why not?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Do you think that networks and Hollywood itself are moving fast enough, though, to show the diversity? Or because it's just starting. We're just starting to get shows like Fresh Off the Boat, Empire, Blackish showing an all diverse cast. But at the same time, I feel like are they doing that just to show we're diverse? Yet if you have a regular show, you can only have one Indian. You can only have one Asian. Otherwise, two Indians or two Asians become too much. So in your opinion, and you're working in the industry, what's your take on the way it's progressing or not?
I think it is progressing, absolutely. I mean, I was in New York for a long time, and I mean, I think we're moving along. I mean, Fresh Off the Boat definitely has pushed the buttons, and I watched it and was like, oh man, this is painful.
Yeah.
Because that's
it was our lives.
True.
It was our lives.
And part of me was like, ooh, do I like this? And I went, you know what? this is important so that America can see, you know, all the viewers can see, like, this is really what we deal with, the kind of stuff we deal with, the kind of segregation that we deal with, and it's totally real. So for our show, it's West Covina, small town, everyone goes to the same Applebee's, as Rachel likes to say, and this is what my clique of friends looks like. Josh is Asian, Valencia's Latino, and Greg's Italian? I don't know. And White Josh and Hector. It's like, it's a
melting pot.
It's a melting pot.
Yeah.
And that's honest to what's happening today.
Right.
And what's kind of neat is that Rachel and Aline were so adamant about making sure that was depicted and acknowledging that, you know, they haven't seen a leading male love interest who was Asian, and they grew up with that. So I remember at my final callback I said, Aline, why did you pick Josh Chang? It was Chang and written initially instead of Josh Smith. You know, and she said, well, I'm from Southern California, as is Rachel, and we grew up around the beach and saw bros and dudes drinking beers, hanging out, and amongst those guys were Asian guys too, so it's like, well, we haven't seen that on television yet, so that's what we're doing. And then, of course, Rachel's like, and I had a crush on an Asian guy. And the
story's kind of true, Rachel.
There was an Albertsons that I frequented because I knew he'd be working that day. Wow. So it's just like, oh, okay, so this is the real deal.
More the inside story.
Went through this.
Nice.
But why not? And I think it's cool to be on a show that kind of is exploring that, and hopefully other shows will catch on and take advantage.
Yes, definitely. It's a groundbreaking type situation, and I hope to see more. And I just wish you guys the best of luck. Definitely.
Yes.
And I want to say thank you so much for coming on, man.
Oh,
you gave us some awesome intel.
Guys.
This was fun. It was so nice to have you on, man. But that's it, guys. That's all she wrote for this episode. But next week's gonna be interesting.
Yeah,
so I can't wait. So once again, guys, you are tuned into the after show for Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Check out us on iTunes. Leave us comments. Let us know. We love interacting with you guys, and you guys have been doing so because you guys like the show. So keep on watching, tweet, retweet, hit us up. It's your boy Nino. You can catch me at Nino Llanera on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
It's your girl Trene. You can catch me up on Twitter and Instagram at your girl Trene.
Follow me on Twitter at Kanika Lol and Instagram at You Can Have It Lol.
I'll be on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram at V Rodriguez III.
There we go, guys. All right, guys, we'll catch you guys next week.
Peace.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.